Hey guys, it's Ramblin Bob here, back with another cool review. Today we're going to look at the Bluetti EB55 portable power station. This is a 537 watt-hour power station. Let's see what we have in the picture here is we have the DC MPPT input and the adapter input right in the front here. That's how you charge the unit. Down here is your DC selection. Here's your power button here to turn it on. You have 4 USB-A, those are the dinosaur old ones here. These are the original, and these are the quick charge here. And then you have 1 USB-C 100 watt port here. Then you have, next to that, you have the AC output panel with the button over here. I do like the little pure sine wave logo right here. You have 4 ports here. 2 have the grounding ports on them and 2 do not. You also have the barrel inputs. I assume these are going to be 5521. We won't know until I look at the specs. And then this is your cigarette port. Hopefully that's a regulated one. Very simplistic looking screen. You have input up here, output down here, your 50 or 60 hertz here. North America, you want to keep it at 60 hertz. And then here's your power structure for your battery power level that you're on. Your capacity is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. I like a percent over these because when it drops down 1 bar, you don't know if it's going to be 81 to 99. So I'm not a big fan of this kind of a power meter, but let's kind of take a look at the specs and see what we got here. So we have 700 watt AC pure sine inverter outputs. There's 4 of them, and I'm assuming that's going to be 700 watts total. There is a surge of 1400 watts. I believe that's that thing called power lifting that Bluetti has that bumps all 4 of these as a team up to 1400 watts, whether you use 1 or all 4. 537 watt-hour capacity. This is still considered to me a smaller power station. Mid power station's about 2000, and then above 2000 is kind of bigger, and then like you know, home replacement power station is, you know, you're looking at 20, 25 or 30 kilowatts, which is 20,000 to 30,000 kilowatts. You could do a home replacement or a home backup with 8 to 10 to 12 or even 15, but the average home, you know, you got split phase air conditioner and induction heaters and hot plates and all that stuff. Usually it's a good recommendation is to have a few days power. So even though that 8, 10, and 12 or even 15 kilowatts will get you through a day or two easy, it's always nice to have multiple days backup when you do home backup, because the sun might not shine for a week. You don't know. Lithium iron phosphate batteries, that's a must nowadays, guys. 2500 life cycles to 80%. The nicer you charge them, the longer they'll last. I'll leave it at that. 13 outputs total, that's a lot. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Did I miss one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I only count 12 outputs. Okay, well, I only count 12. I'm going to have to find the 13th one. It's a secret one. It's in the bat cave. 6 ways to recharge it: AC, solar, car, generator, AC and solar, or dual AC. That's nice. So you can double pump from the wall. You can 200 watt max input. For me, it seems a little low, but that's okay. 400 watt fast dual charging from solar and AC. So you probably have about 200 from the wall and 200 from AC. Eco-friendly, gas-free, quiet, cost-effective. I agree with all those. Back in the days, you know, you had to have motors. I have that Honda EU2000, and you can hear it, even though it's very quiet. But you know, you run something like this, and I don't even know you have it in your vehicle or your campground. That's good for places that don't allow generators, quote unquote, at their campsites. You can have this and nobody even knows you have it, because you're not polluting, you're not making any noise, and you're not bothering anybody. So out of sight, out of mind, guys. Let's see, multiple versus oh, you do have the charging watt. Okay, so there's the 13th output is obviously the wireless. I forgot about that. The handle's nice. It recesses into the top, so it makes a very flat surface, so you can set something on top of it. Obviously not too heavy, I wouldn't recommend. But I noticed that this output is 16 watts, and Bluetti on a lot of their models have 15 watt. So you get 1 extra watt, guys. You know, I'll take it when it comes to wireless because it's only about 50% efficient. So here's your inputs. Okay, so now you have your DC inputs, XT60 port. If you're not familiar with that, that's an RC kind of port, or a RC communications port back in the days. This is a 7909 port. Okay, so I was wrong. So these I think are 5521, I said, but this is a 7909. I think that's considered the 8 millimeter port, I think, or a 70. The 79 is the outside, and 9 is the inside. That's the charging ports. You have your 4 USBs. Oh, they are all the same. Okay, so they're all 5 volts at 3 amps, which is 15 watt outputs, and then this is 100 watts, which is 20 volts at 5 amps. You do have your 4 AC outlets. 2 of them don't seem to have grounds, which is kind of weird, but 2 do and 2 don't. I always like these faces, guys. It looks like the AC outlet is surprised, like, oh no, you know, it's got that mouth look to it. It's funny looking, but yeah, 2 have grounds and 2 don't. So we have to figure why they did that. I wonder why they did that. And here, regulated output. Okay, this is wonderful. So the cigarette lighter is regulated. That's important if you have a portable refrigerator. You don't want to lose all your meat, soda, beer, whatever you put in there. And then you have 12 volts at 10 amps for the barrel outputs, which I'm assuming those are 5521s. Let's see what else we got. Young lady on the beach with powering light bulbs. And we have let's see, these are the same ones we went over again. Okay, looking at all the pretty pictures. Okay, and then we go to the good stuff, guys. This is where the brass tacks hit the road. This is where the money is. So here's your battery info. Capacity 537 watts. It's a 22.4 volt battery system at 24 amp hours. Lithium iron phosphate batteries, that's a must nowadays, guys. I highly recommend that. 2,500 cycles to 80% capacity. Recharge to 80% every 3 to 6 months. I've said this in every video, guys. If you're going to store any battery or power station or any DeWalt battery, any battery, you want to cycle it. I recommend once a month, and that keeps the battery fresh. You don't want that energy to stay in there. It becomes stale and starts kind of degrading the power of the battery cells. MPPT controller, that's great. VMS. I always love when they put EX or ETC, which is etc. In the management system. I assume, and I'm not sure, I assume that's for possibly low and high heat cutoff protection for the cells, but they never tell you here. The AC outlets we went over again, 120 volts at 20 amps each, 700 watts in total. You have a pure sine wave, that's fantastic. Your surge power is 1400. So I don't think this one doesn't have the power lifting, I guess. So it's just a surge then. So basically, if you start up like a circle saw or something like that, you have that very strong, heavy draw, and then it kind of tapers down. Kind of like, you know, when you start your car, the RPMs go really high, and then it kind of tapers down. Yeah, so I don't see the power lifting on this model. At least it's not written here. USB-C 100 watt max. A's are the 5 volt at 3 amps, that's 15 watts each. The DC, 12 volt at 10 amps. 212 barrels at 10 amps. Yep, 5521. So the barrel is 5521, guys. So when you look up the cord for that, it's a 5521. That stands for 5.5 millimeter and 2.1 millimeter. The wireless charging pad. Now notice here, this is kind of a typo or something. This says 1 times 15 watt max. Now if you guys remember on the picture, it said 16. So this might be a typo here. They might have to correct that, or hopefully not, they put a typo of 16 watts on the charging pad of the picture. So we have to look up into that one. We have to see your input again. Here's your 200 watt max from the wall. That's 1 charger. And then you have a solar input, which is 200. That's 2 chargers. So you have VOC 12 to 28 volts at 8 amp cutoff. That's a short circuit. Car input is 12 to 24. I do like that the 24 Bluetti is adding from the cigarette light. If you have a 24 volt alternator, or if you have like a big rig or a bigger vehicle and you're running a 24 volt system to charge, that'll be a a nice little bump. You get about 200 watts out of that. 400 watts if you use both at the same time. So it looks like you can only have one AC charger, and you can have only one solar input. Here's the recharge time, about 3 hours. That's typical for a battery that size. 200 watt input, takes about 3 hours. 0 to 80 is obviously faster, and then you have to find the little pockets of empty spot inside the cells, which is what takes the longest. Solar 200 watts. I do like how they write, Bluetti is funny with this, prime sunshine. Guys, that sounds like a steak to me. Like, I want to order that. That's obviously if it's angled right, if the panels are facing, correctly towards the sun. If you don't have a way to face them, guys, take a soup can, and obviously with it still closed, you just set the soup can right on the panel, and then you aim the panel directly at the sun until you can't see any shadow around any of the soup can. Super easy, old school method, and it works fantastic. It's and you know what? It doesn't cost you a penny. Everyone has a soup can in their house or when they're camping. Here's your 12 to 24 volt car outlet. So it's going to be about 6 hours, 6.1 hours at 12 volt and about 3.4 hours at 24 volts. Now if you do them both at the same time, you get about 400 watts in, and that leaves you anywhere between 1.8 to 2.3 hours. And that's obviously with that prime stake, prime sunshine. And then you have, oh, here, see, now it's here, but it wasn't up, it wasn't listed up there. Dual AC. So there you go, guys. You do have a dual AC. Obviously, one's going to probably be coming in. It says extra adapter is required, but you can drop that down to 1.8 to 2.3 hours if you buy that extra adapter. That's nice. It wasn't listed up there. They have, they put these out so quick. Sometimes they have typos, and that's why I like to read them. 240 split phase bonding. Wow. Oh no. Okay, it says no. I thought that had two. Holy cow, guys! I thought this little box had 240 volts coming out of it. No, you need a 240 volt power source Explorer here. So obviously they want you to buy a bigger. So no, it doesn't have 240. If it was me, I wouldn't even list this because it's going to confuse people. They're going to assume when they see it quick that it has 240 volts coming out of this little box. So no, guys, it doesn't. Scalability, no. So you have just the box, the EB55, and that's it. You can expand it. It's about 16.5 pounds. It has charge through controlling. That's wonderful because once the batteries are full, then you can let the energy pass directly through into whatever you're using. Your dimensions are about 11 inches by 8 inches by about 8 inches. I like that they're starting to put inches on Bluetti's website. In North America, we always get confused with these millimeters, and these are actually centimeters. So now you got to go back and do your conversions. So it's nice that they have the English version right here. Operating temperature, that's normal for Bluetti. It's -4 to 104, which is negative 20 to 40 Celsius. And then your storage temperature is 14 now. Now this is a little lower than normal. Usually they have 32 to 114 for storage. So being that you can store this one all the way down to 14 means this one's a little bit more protected inside. That's nice, guys. That's nice. That's a little bit extra protection if you're traveling and you have this, like in a trailer or something like that. It gets chilly out there. And that's -10 to 45 Celsius. All the certifications, including California Prop 65, that's the prop that pretty much gives everybody the C word. The warranty, 24 months, so 2 years with the warranty. It's not bad. That's a very good warranty. It's a small box with 2,500 cycles. That's just 7-8 years on average if you do it once a day. By that time, you'll probably buy another one. I guarantee. Once you buy one of these guys, you won't stop. I guarantee that. I'm living proof. So in the box, you get the EB55 power station. You get the charging adapter, and the charging cable. So that they obviously go together. It's a plug that goes into the little box. So you do have a lunch box with this model, guys. It's not just a straight cord that goes in a wall. Then you have the XT60 to the cigarette lighter, which is here. It's a little small, hard to see. And then you have the solar. Does this get bigger? Oh, wonderful. Okay, so here you got the cigarette lighter to XT60. Here's the MC4s. That's industry standard for solar panels now, and that's to the XT60 female. That's what the F stands for, guys. It's female. And then you have the user manual and the warranty card, where it usually has like that QR code where you scan it, goes directly in. You can enter your information and get your warranty. And then they also have, which is nice, a user manual right on the page, so that way you can have it digitally if you want it. So a lot of times they don't put the manuals in the boxes anymore because of the kind of, save the tree kind of thing. So they have the easy download. If you want it, download it. If you don't download it. It's pretty cool. That runs about $499 on the Bluetti website. And I don't know what it is on Amazon, but I'll put a link to Amazon, guys. If you want to take a look at it, feel free. And I'm going to put a link to this website on Bluetti, and if you like it, you could take a look. Maybe this is the power station for you, and maybe it's not. But I always just put these videos out there to give more people more information, and that way you can make a more informed decision. All right, guys, Ramblin Bob out. Be safe, and I'll talk to you again. Okay, guys? Bye.